So this is part 2 of, I didn't even say what number episode. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever episode this is. 6, 5, something like that.
I want to say 6.
Okay.
I want to say 6.
We'll go with
We'll
6.
Yeah, 6.
It depends on whether or not you count Scarface as 0 or number 1. I don't know. That's kind of like a whole comic book thing. I don't know. Okay.
This will be argued about long after we pass.
Yes. Whether or not Scarface is actually a canonical episode for us. Yes. We'll let the fans decide the fate of that episode one day. This part of the episode, we just talked about Memento, and we are kind of splitting these episodes up, so go back and watch. That one should have come out about a week ago at the time that you're watching this one. But for this episode, we're talking about video games, and we're going to be talking about Elder Scroll V Skyrim. So this was my pick to talk about this one. This is a game that came out in 2011. It's one of the very last games I think I pre-ordered, or at least I bought like brand new right when it was released. Its release was sketchy, to say the least. It wasn't entirely well received right at the beginning, especially if you were playing this on a PlayStation 3. I did play it on the Xbox 360 at the time, which had was much better, not nearly as glitchy. And so luckily I was able to actually kind of fall in love with this game. It is a fantasy role-playing game that's a first-person perspective, just like it's 2 of its previous games, which were Morrowind and Oblivion, were the 2. I think Morrowind was on the original Xbox. Oblivion was on the Xbox 360. No.
I think you're right. I'm fairly certain you're correct, because I think it was the 360 and the PS3.
Yeah, so what did this game come out then on? It was PS3 and...
It came out on PS3 and the 360 as well, and then they kept doing, I believe they kept doing like more and more like anniversaries and stuff like that.
Okay.
I think.
I guess maybe I did play this.
Sure.
Maybe I did play this originally on the 360 then. Okay, that might make sense. For some reason, I was thinking that there's a release between the 360 and the Xbox One, but there's not. So I don't know. That's why I got confused there for a second. I hate the way Xbox titles their systems. It's so annoying. I really, really hate it. This is on the tail end, though, of Xbox 360, and it had come out after the Oblivion, Morrowind, then Oblivion. Then you had Fallout 3, which is on a similar engine to Oblivion. It was created using, I don't remember what the exact engine's name is. And then they upgraded to a new engine, and that's what Skyrim came out on. So it looked great for the system, and with all the upgrades and the upgraded graphics. I've recently been playing out on the Xbox One. Looks amazing on the on the latest release there. I think that latest release has all the add-ons. I haven't gotten that far in the game to find out just yet. What are you playing on, PS4?
PS4. That was actually I started playing this. I got this 2021. Okay. I think I had just gotten COVID. That was back when they were doing the 2 weeks thing, like just straight up 2 weeks. So I was like, well, this is not going to happen, even though it did happen. So I had a friend of mine go pick it up for me, because I was like, I need something new just to do for a while. So I had him go pick it up for me. I started playing it, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, it's one of the few, at least relatively few games that I think have kind of found their way into like popular mainstream culture. Even though it had been out for 8 years before I tried it out. I mean, I knew exactly what it was. I knew a lot of the memes about it. I mean, this game seemed to break, from what I could tell from like more of an outside perspective. It broke a lot of ground. Was it Blizzard or was it Bethesda?
So this is a Bethesda game.
Bethesda game, okay.
Yeah, Bethesda does all the Fallout, Elder Scroll, and they have Starfield series that's supposed to start this year.
Okay.
Might actually get me to buy an upgrade, Xbox X or S or whatever they're called now, just for that game. Honestly,
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think I'm still a bigger fan of Fallout, just really more on like a personal level. But I found myself getting hooked quite a bit, losing track of time. There's been a few occasions where I looked up and realized, oh crap, I got to be at work soon. I better get some sleep.
Yeah, this is a game where you'll easily lose time, and this is also one of those games. And I think Fallout's kind of like it too, where especially if you're just exploring the open world and you're
Mm-hmm.
forgetting to save, at least on the
Mm-hmm.
original 360 version, I think they have it where it does do automatic random saves in your game.
PS4
But
does too.
when it first
Yeah.
came out, just roaming around the countryside, and all of a sudden you're underskilled and you just run into like a giant's
A
camp,
bear. Or yeah, the Giants camp.
a giant's camp, and you just get obliterated. Yeah, that was never any fun. And you had to go, okay, when was the last time I went through a door somewhere? That was my last auto save. Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of skill level ups because I didn't say I was like, all right, I need to start saving right afterwards, and of course I don't do that.
Yeah, never.
Um,
Always go
yeah,
in a door and go out a door if you can't remember to
but
save. Yeah.
what I liked about this better than say Fallout 4, for example, is that all like non-playable characters, the NPCs, a lot of them still have some degree of depth to them, more than you'd expect for just some random character. And a lot of the interactions with the characters that can do side quests or do main story plots, there's a lot more detail put in, at least from what I see, as opposed to Fallout 4. Fallout 4 at times can seem a little cookie cutter in terms of how the character dialogue goes. I really felt like Skyrim, like they put a lot more effort into making sure every character, or at least most characters, had their own kind of unique personality to some degree.
I'm not really someone when I get into one of these games, or at least when I get
Mm-hmm.
into Skyrim, I don't really talk to people. I'm just kind of let's find a cave and let's hack some crap up. It's really
See,
all
I'm
about
the exact opposite.
it's really I'm really all about like exploring and not really about talking to people, which is really interesting
Gotcha.
because as much as I do the exploring and Fallout, I really do enjoy talking to the people. I find there's a level of humor and just sarcasm in the writing of Fallout, the Fallout games that I love. I tend to pay
I
more
think
attention.
Prescott is what kind of burned me out.
So many humans, not many super mutants.
Need something?
I took care of those super mutants. The settlers were relieved to not have them to worry about anymore.
Thank God. Super mutants. Civilians just don't stand a chance against them. As usual, I've got something else for you. I've gotten word.
Humans all look funny.
Well, Prescott's annoying, and he's the entire reason why you should join the Brotherhood and destroy the Minutemen. Yeah,
I did.
uh,
I did.
yeah.
I did do that. I felt a slight bit of guilt because you're kind of overpowered, but
I mean,
it didn't
really,
last long.
you should join the synthetics and just destroy humanity altogether because flesh is bad.
But it
Yeah.
was bad.
But this is the game, so let's talk about just a quick one-sentence synopsis of the plot of Skyrim. So you are the Dragonborn. You're on a quest to defeat Alduin, the World Eater, a dragon who is prophesied to destroy the world. That's the overarching plot. Basically, that's your end goal in the game. To say there's a specific storyline or anything that you have to follow, though, is ridiculous because I don't think you have to play pretty straightforward in the game to get to the point where you would even discover that. That's probably about 5 hours into the game of just following the main quest path, I think, before you would really understand that that's what's going on and that you're Dragonborn. Maybe you could do a little bit faster, but I think first time playing through, it's probably going to be 5 to 6 hours in before you understand that's what's going on with yourself. You do kill the dragons earlier on and you absorb their souls. Pretty much from that point on, it's always kind of fun to go around and test your might and try to take on a few dragons here or there, take them out, and go hunt in some caverns and find the lost, what are they called, Thunes? Are those what they call the words? I think the
I
ancient
think you're right.
language, the words of power. You can learn the words of power if you have dragon souls, and it gives you another skill set on top of whatever your base skill set is that you're using. Which, I mean, even more than I think Fallout, this is such an RPG type game because you have multiple races that you can choose from at the beginning of the game, and they give you different perks in terms of what you can do throughout the day. I always like playing as the lizard or the cat, because the lizard, I think you don't drown. You can swim underwater, or you can hold your breath for a lot longer or something like that. You can always find good treasure deep in the water. But don't worry, because there is a mask somewhere in the game, and if you wear that mask, it's a little wooden mask. It does give you can breathe underwater. You don't drown.
Mhm.
And then the cat you can see at night, which is good if you like breaking into people's houses and thieving stuff. That's always fun.
I do a lot of that.
Yeah. I have multiple playthroughs where that's pretty much all I did. I was just a thief. Like
I think I
even
became
to the
one
point
of
where you
the.
just steal everything from the Thieves Guild. Yeah, that's always fun.
I forget what it's called, but I picked one of the races that are more human. I figured from like my first playthrough, I'm gonna keep it pretty straightforward. Probably second time around, I'm probably gonna do what you did with the cat.
Yeah. No, I think the first time I played with a Nord, just one of the Nordic
I think it's
characters or
North.
something like that. Yeah.
I think it's North. Yeah, because at one point I was trying to test out sneaking without wearing like really heavy armor, but heavy armor was all I had, so I just took it all off. And I was sneaking around. I snuck up on somebody. I accidentally tapped one of the buttons that took it from first person to third person. So all of a sudden, I see this giant, long-haired, naked man just come in behind someone with my sword. I was like, "What the heck is that? Who is this guy?" I freaked out because I thought it was someone attacking me. I was like, "Oh, that's my guy."
Yeah, this game, yeah, you can hit the wrong button pretty easily in this game. The other ways you can fight are, of course, you have swords. You have hand-to-hand combat, and you can do two-handed or one-handed. You can do there's axes and maces. That's all the same thing, basically. Swords. There's archery, which if you build it up, can be very, very powerful. If you have a really strong bow, you really build it up, that can be a really strong way to play, but you can't play that way out of the gate. You're pretty much going to have to play. I would recommend playing one-handed. Build that up first out of the game, and then build up your other perks. I've never been able to master magic. I've never been able to figure it out to the point where I could just play as a straight mage. I'm sure some people have blasted through this game doing that, but that to me is the hardest one to try to do. And I always use a little fire, make a little fireball or do the regeneration on myself. I always have that handy so I can throw that back in as one of my quick selects. But yeah, just straight mage. Maybe if you're playing as pure stealth, maybe you can do that, but even then, I don't know. I don't know how you take on a dragon that way.
I mean, there's guys who've got 400-500 hours in this game. Yeah, I'm sure they figured it out.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Yeah, but it's a fun game. Huge. I think it's one of the larger open world games of all time.
The open world is gorgeous. I was very impressed with the detail.
There's a whole bunch of NPCs that if you do quests right, they'll actually join you, and you can have one at a time join you. That's always good, because in any of these games, if you ever played Fallout or anything like that, one of the worst things to happen in a game is to find too much treasure and too many good weapons and too many good armor pieces, and you just get burdened down. There is a perk. So let's talk about the leveling up system real quick, because this is actually kind of complicated or convoluted, I think, but I like it the way it works. Whenever you use a skill, so say you're slashing away at skeletons or rabbits in the fields or whatever you're hacking away with, anytime you do damage with the sword, your one-handed, or if you have a two-handed sword, and your two-handed goes up. So you have all these separate skills. If you try to unlock a lock, if you try to sneak, if you try to, if you've been hurt and you cast a regeneration spell on yourself, if you try to cook something, if you try to smith something, not cook something. I don't think that's actually a skill that I don't think that counts towards
Cooking
alchemy.
does it.
No, but alchemy, you can mix
Yes.
ingredients together. You can haggle. I think you can talk to people, and that gives you speech points, right? Speech is one, right?
That does. Every time I sell something, I see that it'll go up a little bit.
I don't know how many it is, but every time you level up one of your skills, if you level up so many of those, you level up overall. And when you level up overall, you go from like 1 to 2. right? Level 1 to level 2. When you go into level up, you can choose from three. You have three choices where you can upgrade your magicka, your health, or your stamina. And then you get a perk point. And so all the skills that you've been building up all have their own individual trees with points in it, and basically based on how leveled up you are inside of that skill, you can spend points inside of that tree. That's why, and I can't remember which skill it is, but there is one where, and this is one of the first ones I always go for, where you can fast travel when you're overburdened with being packed. And that's one I can't ever remember. I always have to look at the skill tree, but that is
Is it
one,
heavy
like,
armor?
it may be heavy armor, but it's one that always out of the gate, and it's not even, I don't even really play through that skill tree. The rest after that, I just unlock that one.
Mhm.
Fast travel when you're overburdened, and it's so nice because all you got to do is just
Yeah.
get away from your enemies and just fast travel back to your house that you've bought, and okay,
Yeah.
put everything away. All right, we're good now. Let's go back and gather more crap. Same thing in Fallout. Fallout has the same kind of perks you can do, and I always go for that same perk.
I was gonna say that follows the same way. And that in games like this, that is a huge blessing.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than getting two great items and basically not knowing what it is you got to drop to get back to where you need to be.
Yeah, and that is really nice where you kind of do have unlimited space.
Mhm.
But the other thing is with a companion, if you do have a companion working with you, I think this only works for the human ones. You can talk to them and ask them to carry things for you. And if you haven't unlocked that perk yet, that's a good way to unburden yourself so you can fast travel again. They may not fast travel, but you'll see them in a few days. Show up at your house. It's okay. But yeah,
They're not gonna steal all my stuff.
no. But if you do give them a good weapon, they will, or give them good armor, they will equip that if it's better than what they already have.
That's my stuff.
No, it's fine. They're fighting on your
Uh,
side. It's okay. And give them good
that's
weapon.
true. That's true.
Eh,
That's
If
true.
it's not
I
good
don't want
enough
to
for
die
you
early.
to equip yourself, okay, let them have it. It's fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Um,
this I noticed we had talked about the map earlier, like just how beautiful it is. What really stood out to me was that this game, I think, when did it come out? Was it 2010 or was it 12?
2011.
2011. Okay. Um, I was impressed by just how much it held up, given the fact that it's like almost 12 years old now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it got a pretty hefty upgrade in 2016 when it was
Sure.
released. So it got an HD upgrade. I don't know, it wasn't like a remake or anything like that. Just
Right. But
smoothed out
even
polygons. But yeah,
definitely, but even looking back at like watching a playthrough for the first original one, I was very impressed. It really looks like they really took advantage of everything they had on that system.
well, if you, depending on what system they were playing it through, if they were playing it through on PC, you could put the settings on the PC. If you had a really good computer, you can make it look really good on PC.
It may be BC. I don't know for sure.
Because I mean, and it for the time it looked good on 360, but I mean, for the time, Oblivion and Morrowind, sorry, looked good for the systems they came out on, and those games are, in my opinion, unplayable now. Like, just they don't look good. They're very, very difficult to play.
Hmm.
But yeah. Also, as a tie-in to our last video on Memento and Jonathan Nolan writing the Memento Mori short story, that
Mhm.
was the motivation for the movie. You
Mhm.
know, Jonathan Nolan is the writer and executive producer on the Fallout series being made for Amazon.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I actually might check it out.
Yeah, there's a clip online that they showed, and I think it was him and Todd Howard maybe talking, or maybe it was just Todd Howard talking, and it showed somebody in power armor walking behind him, and I was like, okay,
That's cool.
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
One of the people I've always wanted to do it was Jonathan Nolan. I love the movies he's written and worked on with his brother, and his TV shows with Lisa Joy, Westworld. And Jonah and I connected and was, would this be something that would interest you? And it turned out he was a big fan of it.
Can you tell us a little bit about Fallout?
Fallout?
Fallout, the video game?
I love video games. I'm not familiar with the Fallout. Tell me a little bit about it. Thanks, Adam.
It's a video game. 25th anniversary is coming up in October.
Fallout. Yes, the post-apocalyptic, humorous, dark, bleak, brilliantly written, annoyingly playable video game franchise.
How did you get involved?
Well, several years ago, I decided I was going to write the next great American novel, and then a friend gave me a copy of Fallout 3, and now I'm working in television.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have an episode in Fallout, so we can go more into that.
Oh, for sure.
So there were add-ons for this game. So there's the Dawn Guard, which is a vampire and werewolves storyline. There's the Hearthfire, where you can build a home, and there is the Dragonborn, which is set back in part of the Morrowind island or continent. I haven't played any of those yet. I think I've seen a little bit of Hearthfire. I think you can't help but see a little bit of Hearthfire earlier in the game, because I do believe I think I can take my apothecary that I have in the house that I built, and I think I can change it into a child's bedroom or something like that. So I think Hearthfire also gives you the upgrade to adopt children.
Right.
Which, that sounds horrible. I don't know why you would do that. I'm playing a video game where I kill people. I don't know. I'm not playing Sims. I don't know about that. I don't know what kind of perks that gives you, but okay.
I do have that version. Not the child, but the one where I know whatever version I had, it had several different DLCs on it. So I just got some Morrowind. And I also had recently killed the Vampire Brotherhood, I think is what they're called.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm done with that yet, because I still haven't seen any like werewolves or anything. But I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's really exciting, because also there's a point where you go to sleep and you're like woken up in the middle of the night, and there's this like ninja-looking vampire sitting in your room, and she has 4 people with bags over their head, and she's mad at you because you had killed someone in her clan. So she says that you've got to pick someone to kill.
So that's not part of Dawn Guard, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's part of the. That's just something that you can have happen in the game, because I remember that quest when I played it the first time, and I didn't have any of the DLCs at that time. So. Yeah.
Oh, well then, never mind. Ignore what I
Yeah,
just
you
said.
got a whole other game to play apparently. So, but I mean, hey, if you
loving it so
really
far.
dug the vampire stuff, then yeah.
I think it's fun. I mean, with this playthrough, I'm pretty much just being like a typical like good human the whole way through. Like I'm not really veering off course at all. That's pretty much how I play all these games. I do my first playthrough normal, and then I pretty much become a full-on sociopath for my second one.
No, you're better than me. A lot of times I do sociopath first time through. It depends on how I feel when I start. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I'm usually in a good mood when I start it. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll go the other way.
Unless it's like Mass Effect, where there's different achievements based on the path you go. Like I tend to not choose right out, or I tend to just go with whatever my gut is in the moment whenever I'm playing. Other than that, like Mass Effect, I have to do a playthrough as a Paragon, and then I have to do a playthrough as what was the heal called in that game? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah. So that was always how I played those games. But this one, yeah, it's just if an NPC is annoying me bad enough, yeah, I'll be bad. I don't care. Kill him.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that there's no uh, limit. I mean, at a certain point, I'll do what I have to do. You're not real. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Uh, but no, I was a little surprised at first when you picked this one because I really didn't think there was much to discuss. But I started playing it again, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a whole lot to discuss with this game.
yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, you can talk
It's
to two or
got
three
like,
different. Hmm? What
go
was
ahead,
that?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, you can talk to two or three different people, and they've all had completely different playthrough experiences with this game.
Mhm.
Like it's not a standard game where everybody's playing the same game. And it's kind of like that with Fallout. Like I talked to my buddy who I play Fallout with. I mean, we don't play together, but we always kind of generally get them when they come out at the same time. And we're always playing completely different games, having completely different experiences. And I think that's kind of the fun of these games is that and there's replayability because when you talk to somebody else, like right then where you were talking about the vampire thing, there may be somebody who are like, oh, there's a vampire quest in game that's not part of the DLCs. Well, let me look about how I get that thing launched, and okay, I want to go play that, and so they can go out now and they have a whole brand new experience playing the game, getting to
Mhm.
that point and doing that. So yeah, these games are they're a lot of fun. They're very very addictive. If you're
Yes.
in, I think if you're in the mood for them, I think they can be tedious if you're not in the mood for them. Um, Especially whenever you're unlocking all the fast travel, all the locations. If you haven't unlocked everything, and you're just having to figure out how to get to what is it, Riften? Like, okay,
Mhm.
like that you're just like wandering for a couple hours trying to figure out where Riften is, so you can unlock it for fast travel. So there is stuff like that, but yeah, I think generally it's a very fun, addictive game.
Absolutely agreed. I'm really glad. I'm glad you picked it. My wife, not so much, but I'm very glad that you picked it.
Yeah, I do think this is the first game that Wolf played. Hopefully not the last. I think all of the clips I'm going to use in the edit are from my gameplay. Um,
Nice.
if Andrew can figure out how to capture any, and he wants to send them to me, I might include some of his in the edit, but we don't know if we're going to be able to do that yet. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of fun. I can take what we've actually talked about. I have to go through now and try to figure out how to unlock that vampire storyline so I can I can get clips of that for the edit. But yeah,
If I can go back and do it again, I will.
it's
I
okay.
just went to sleep in some random town. I don't even know where it was, and all of a sudden
I have to
I'm
look it
being
back up.
harassed.
There's an action you have to take beforehand. There's an action you take, and then the next time you go to sleep, they show up. I
Yeah,
don't remember what that action was that you have to do.
I
Um,
killed somebody.
yeah,
Um, I think someone who was in her clan or whatever. And then it's like she gives me the option of working with them because she's like kind of impressed at the same time. Um, but I just decided to beat her over the head with my mace instead, which was fun. She had a counter. She was pretty cruel.
you get a
Uh,
pretty good perk if you join them. I can't remember what. I mean, you lose power in daylight, but I can't remember. You do gain something at night. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's not that bad of a perk to become a werewolf or a vampire. So I want to get to the Dawn Guard add-on because I do want to play. I want to figure out the werewolf perk. I want to get that, but play around with that. So I think that'd be fun. So yeah, I mean, what this game is 12 years old, and I've put many of hours into this. So is Andrew, and there's stuff we haven't uncovered yet. So
I think there's 6 different versions, starting from the first release is what I read online.
I have 3. So there's a 2011 initial release. There's a 2016 Xbox and PS4 release that had all the add-ons and had upgraded graphics. So that's probably what we're playing. And then there is the 10-year anniversary release that came out for Xbox S and PlayStation 5, and that added in a bunch of the Creation Club elements, and it introduced the ability to fish apparently in it, and it had everything else from the 2016 edition.
Maybe I misread it. I do have the fishing pole. I've still yet to use it because whenever I go in water, I can just grab fish.
If you don't have the anniversary edition, I don't think you can fish. I think that was something they added in. So unless you're playing on a PlayStation 5 or Xbox X, I don't think you have that ability.
I don't know. I mean, whatever I have, they actually give you poles. I don't know. Maybe it's a
no,
different version of it.
No, you just take. There's so much crap that you can pick up. You just take it and sell it somewhere else. There's a.
Oh, okay. I've been doing that. I've been selling it.
You can pick up a broom. It doesn't mean you can sweep anything. So yeah.
That's true. That's a fair point.
Okay. So is that all for this?
I think so. I'm going to be playing this for a long time, at least until. Is there any word on a 6th game coming out? They're still making so much money on this.
They're actually making a lot of money on the online version. I don't think they're.
Right.
Yeah, Elder Scroll Online, and I think we get I think we get Starfield. And then Fallout 5 after that. I think that's because it was Fallout 4, then Elder Scroll Online, then Starfield is the one that's supposed to come out this year, and then Fallout 5 is. I don't even think they have an expectation of when that one's going to release yet. So
maybe 2030.
Yeah, somewhere around there. That sounds about right. Yeah, Fallout 4 came out in what? That came out around 2016. So.
4?
Yeah, maybe
No,
it came out after that. Was it?
That was like 20. I think that was 2014 because right when I got back from nursing school. I think I don't want to say that for sure, but I remember playing that right after nursing school. Now that I say that, I'm probably not correct. This is going to be like that British Columbia thing all over again. Okay, it's 2015.
2015. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
actually, I guess that was not long after nursing school.
So yeah, they've been putting everything into the Elder Scroll Online game. So yeah, so that was their last released from at least from like Todd Howard, from his team at Bethesda. So
gotcha.
But yeah,
good deal.
So I think that's all for this one. So stay tuned for the next part of this episode, which is going to be our top 5 favorite movies. So we'll see you back at that one.